Day one of Harley ownership went exactly as you would expect. Thank you for asking. Anthropic is now worth $1 trillion. Most of us are like, what's an Anthropic? And do I have one? And should I have it removed? I appreciate you spending time with me here today at Bud Ford Comedy. Thank you for subscribing and liking the channel. It's really kind of you. The ad claimed that I was going to save $955. Sorry, I'm about to spend $140. You need to calm down on what I'm saving. But can it follow simple instructions? Because if not, it's basically an intern with venture capital. Tell me Anthropic is worth $965 billion. I'll be like, okay. I don't think people understand money anymore anyway, those kind of numbers. At one point, $1 billion was an incredible amount of money. Now it's monopoly money, right? You tell somebody the company's worth $965 billion and we ask questions like, great, are they hiring? What do they make, printers? I mean, we don't know what they do. That's the entire AI economy right now because Wall Street is over here stressing over valuations. What's this worth? What's that worth? Is Claude worth more than Chat? I don't know. We don't care. What we want is the one that gets it right the most, right? Anthropic, which is Claude, is now worth more than OpenAI, which I think is funny because most of us, we don't even know what to call AI, so we just call it Chat GPT or Chat GTP if we're older. It's like calling a soda Coke, all of them. I'll take a Coke. What kind? Mountain Dew. That's how we do in the South. Oh, I'll have a Coke. Which one? Dr. Pepper? Okay, see, that don't make no sense, but that's how we do AI right this minute. We really don't know what we're doing. America right now doesn't know whether to warm up to this technology or not. These folks that are in the business are in this giant race. OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, they're all spending billions of dollars. It's like watching the folks in the water business, Dasani, Aquafina, the big water folks, the Coke and Pepsis of the world, watching them pour money into water, and you notice they've just about stopped because we're not brand loyal. We're just not. We go pick up water. We move on. That's what AI is trying to avoid. They're trying to get a brand leader. That's by and large what happened to radio that you listen to in your car, right? 3 country stations in the market all make up one almost decent one. That's not the way it should be. It should be 3 separate businesses competing for your business. That's not how it works. All these investors are throwing this money around like they're buying beachfront property in 1948. Results are what's going to matter. You better be pouring money into research and development because I don't care at 11:30 at night when my assignment's due at 11:59 about how much you're worth. I just want the AI source that helps me get the formatting right so I can get my best grade. And AI people are funny. I'm going to tell you something about AI. Trust me, I work with it on a regular basis. People think you just ask a question, type it in, it just gives you back the answer that you want. It's real simple. You have to train it. You have to explain things. You can't just say, make me an image with me in it in a sunny day. I mean, you can, but you don't know what you're getting back. But if you want a train on one side and the sun on the right-hand side, you see what I mean? You've got to tell it what you want for an image. Anything you do, you have to guide it. You should think of AI as you've just hired the world's smartest intern. They're really new. Incredibly capable, you see the upside, but every now and then you're going to realize that it absolutely has no idea what you're talking about, though you may have had this conversation multiple times. I spent months teaching AI how I like to write things because I write a lot of different comedy stuff. And what I like to do is I like to write it myself, get it all figured out like I want it, and then throw lines against it and see where I come out. It's a game I'm playing because of the amount of content I'm turning out. I've done radio and TV my whole life. I do this daily, so I'm turning out 25 to 30 minutes a day. Of course, I'm using every possible tool I can. I'm not letting it write. That's what I do. But what I am letting it do is fix things. And it's amazing to me that when you teach it the right way, it will do the right things. You have to teach it. I don't want the extra spacing. I don't want those stupid walls of text. I don't want those weird dashes everywhere. I don't want the commas and the 48 chapter long run-on sentence. I don't want all that. Sometimes, though, it'll look at you and go, you know what? I don't care what you want. This is what I did. And that's technology. We get caught up in the AI is replacing everyone tomorrow game. It gets in our mind and we're all like, I'm worried, I'm worried, I'm worried. That's not really the case. Now, I'm not saying a bunch of things aren't going to change, because they are, but not tomorrow. Right now, it can't spell. Spelling's still a challenge, and it gets things wrong. Like really, really wrong, but it gets it wrong confidently. And you gotta give it credit for that. It's like at your uncle's house on Thanksgiving, somebody's spouting off. Couldn't be any more wrong, but they are confident. And that kind of confidence is impressive. Investors, like they just struck gold. This is the future. Maybe, but the future is which one of you fools gets this right. That's all. The one that we trust. And you can't manipulate that. You can manipulate a lot of it through advertising. If you haven't been paying attention, the whole world's all like, Claude, Claude. That's because they spent a ton of money advertising on the internet and on television for about 2 months. You couldn't escape Claude. I don't know if you think back a few months ago, they were everywhere. Even my folks that I work with are all like, oh no, I don't use chat. So yesterday I used Claude. Well, I'm going to tell you, I bought the subscription for 1 month and I was absolutely embarrassed by how dumb Claude was. It was worse than chat, and that's almost impossible. I was asking it to do basic formatting for college papers because you have to do a different format every time. I don't want to be off spacing because then they get all moody about it. There should be something I can dump it in online and go, I need this formatted in APA, ALS, MLP, or whatever it is, format number 6, or whatever number they want. It should just do it. Without me having, then I can turn that in. I'm not asking it to cheat. I'm asking it to make sure that I don't have unnecessary spacing and the dumb stuff that college professors seem to think is the one thing that keeps society together. It isn't. Normal people don't care about which one of these AI services is worth $3 trillion. We don't. We care about things like, can it plan a vacation? Can it fix a spreadsheet where I've screwed it up? Can it help me with my taxes? Can it tell me why my teenage daughter wants me to spend $1,000 on a gaming computer? That's the market. The tougher competitions on the streets in Claude and Chat or OpenAI and Anthropic know that. The best way to evaluate a $1 trillion company in America, a tech company, put it to the test, and that's what we're doing every single day. We'll tell you who wins soon. It's the one that can help. If not, we're right back to the ads and all of the mass suckage that Google was. I'm betting you probably made some decisions in your life where you go, that was questionable. But buying a motorcycle and immediately riding it 700 miles after not riding one in 10 plus, maybe 15 years, well, that's Hall of Fame, stupid. And that's when I learned that confidence and competence are not the same thing. Because one of them bought a Harley Davidson in Florida, and the other was nowhere to be found. 2000, I think it was, I decided, you know what? I want a Harley. I was in one of those life-changing deals where I was working a job that I saw was coming to an end. I knew I was going to have to move. I was living in Michigan. I was making a lot of money. It was nice. I enjoyed it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to buy this Harley. I didn't have kids. I didn't have any sense. Pretty good demographic for Harley. I'm a fair weather rider. I like it when it's sunny and 90. I'm weird. I know that. Buying a motorcycle in Michigan, it's kind of like buying a boat in Nebraska. You're an optimist. I get it, but the weather's going to disagree. So I found a Harley dealer in Florida, and the dealership was offering this really cool promotion where they were like, hey, listen, you just fly on down here to Fort Lauderdale and pick up your Harley. I said, okay, it's exactly what I did. I hopped right on an airplane, I flew down, and I picked up my motorcycle. It was sick. I'm not sure if it was really a purchase or the making of a perfect hillbilly record. But either way, I walked off that plane, I walked into that dealership, I signed some paperwork, and to be honest, I got a pretty good deal out of that bike. It wasn't spectacular. I knew I had to pay for the flight and stuff, and that's okay. But suddenly, I had the keys to a Harley. Now, let me tell you something. I haven't been on a motorcycle in a really, really long time, probably 10 to 15 years. So I had to go through the wait, turn this and the gas is on? Smart people start small. I ride around the parking lot a little bit. I kind of get my bearings back. That's what smart people do, but they reacquaint themselves with the gear shifting game and, balance. Not me. Nope. Sure. Of course, let me get that helmet over there and those gloves, probably need some of them. And, I won't need sunglasses, we're fine. Yeah, I want the half shield because I can't carry all that stuff on a plane. That's the kind of confidence you only have before life teaches you a lesson. Now, I thought this was smart. I rolled out of Fort Lauderdale going north on A1A. Beachfront Avenue. Girlies were on standby. They were waving just to say hi. Did I stop? No, I just drove by. I kept on, pursuant to the next block. Vanilla Ice does not get enough respect. That's all I'm saying, because I can keep going with that rap. Folks that know me know that I can play that funky music, white boy. It's the only other real hit on that record, and that was questionable. His version was sick, though. Beautiful day. Imagine this. We have palm trees. On my right, the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. I can see it. I'm on A1A. On my left, and hotels running all the way up. On my left, I have business, civilization. But to my right, the whole world is the ocean. And really pretty people on the beach on a sunny, warm day. Remember, I had been in Michigan for years. They don't have but like 4 sunny, warm days in Saginaw, Michigan in a year, and they're not together. It was everything America could be. So I'm getting comfortable again with speeds. Like I said, I'm shifting the gears. I'm working through the red lights. Finally, I hit Jacksonville, and that's several hours down the road. That's not a few minutes. I hit I-95. I'm like, oh, yeah, we gonna do the thing now. I-95, I didn't think that it was 4:30 in the afternoon, and it certainly was. So here I am out here, and I told you I bought that half-shield helmet, right? Figured the airflow would be nice. I wanted the freedom, but I still wanted protection. I'm not stupid. I wanted the full biker adventure and experience with the safety too. At 60 miles an hour, when I tell you something failed, things broke. Things went wrong. The entire helmet launched backwards, just like you see in this photo. It's hung around my neck. I cannot breathe. I can barely think. Behind me is cars in every direction. Around me, people are looking at me like I'm going to die, because I probably am. Think about the speed and the drag that's being generated, and that's pulling right on my Adam's apple. It was uncomfortable. I can't slow down. They're behind me doing 1,000,000 miles an hour. Somehow I worked my way to the shoulder while the helmet was trying to assassinate me. I got pulled over. It's like a parachute stuck to my face, man. It was awful. Finally got off of the bike. Had to breathe for a minute. Peed myself a little bit. My safety equipment should not be the reason I'm strangled. We were talking about AI just a minute ago. To be fair, not like I had a picture of this, so I asked AI to build this for me. This was the second attempt, and this is pretty fantastic. Never mind that the street signs that say Jacksonville are magically the wrong direction or anything like that. Take a look at this one. That ain't it. That's not exactly what I asked for at all, and I've never had that much hair, but thank you. The rain rolled down. Good Lord, you don't realize how rain hurts on a motorcycle unless you've felt it's like they're throwing tiny BBs at you. It's an assault. Your face is getting punched. Just half, because I had a half shield, and I had a red mark on my neck. I just got it cleared up. Because I was following the coast, the temperature's changing as I go north. A little further north, a little colder, then hot again, then raining. Everybody imagines the Harley trip, right? It's like the commercial. And while I was rolling A1A, it was absolutely just like the commercial. Leather jacket, open road, everything was unbelievable. But that's not the real version of motorcycling. It's just not. It's grown men questioning everything in their life and negotiating with their back to stop hurting. The ride took forever. By the time I got to Charleston, I was exhausted mentally, physically, spiritually, in ways that I didn't even know you could be exhausted. I parked the bike, I jumped off, and I stared at it. You ever do something so stupid that you're proud of it? That's how I felt. Like I had crossed the Oregon Trail myself. I had survived dysentery. I love that motorcycle. It was cobalt blue, almost purple. Beautiful. But every time I think about that trip, I realize something. Young men don't actually understand risk. We understand possibility because no reasonable adult says, you know, I haven't ridden in 10 years, but let's just go 700 miles. No problem. It's not a transportation plan, it's a dare, and somehow it worked out, which is probably the worst lesson I could have got from the whole experience. That's a fact. Nothing makes me laugh harder than wannabe luxury marketing. When you tell me that this watch is $1,000, okay, then I'm 6'3" and I have great hair. This pops up in my inbox, and the advertisement says it was originally worth $1,095. You discounted it 87%. That's not a sale, that's a lie. I collect watches, I know. When I saw this ad, I went, oh, we're just making numbers up now, great. That watch is an Invicta. If you know someone who wears Invicta, I'm going to tell you exactly what I would tell them. Okay, I don't hate Invicta. I like people that are into watches. That's cool. I think Invicta knows exactly what they make. That's a beautiful watch, though. It's stunning. When you tell me your watch is $1,000, I say based on what? Show me the dumbass that paid that. I want to talk to him. I want to sell him some things too. Because if you're dumb enough to pay $1,095 for this watch, what else are you buying? I should be getting a cut of that. The ads all work the same way. Originally $1,095. No. That's what you said. I can put a price tag of $4,000 on a grilled cheese, but it don't make it luxury cuisine. It makes me delusional and stupid. The watch world, though, does get weird, so you can take advantage of some stupidity. For instance, Rolex raises prices 15 to 18% per year. Omega raises prices about the same way, but maybe not as consistently. People buy them. One day, Mont Blanc showed up. You know, the pen company. They charged us $100 for an ink pen. They were like, you know what? We could charge luxury watch people. We could get a lot of money out. They showed up here with a $3,000 watch and people bought it. Why? Still don't know, but they're pretty. Meanwhile, Invicta's all like, this watch is worth $1,100 yesterday, but today, why, it's only $140. Well, what the hell happened last night? Good Lord. Whatever it was, don't let it happen again. We'll lose our homes. It's going to be awful. Did somebody discover that these things are powered by hamster wheels, or are they causing people's arms to fall off? That's a huge discount, right? You can see why I don't trust that. Imagine if Ferrari did that. This sports car yesterday, $400,000. Today, only $37.95 with a coupon. Nobody would believe that. And that's the thing about watches. As a guy who's been around Rolexes his entire life, Rolex, Breitling, all of these brands, Omega. I'm not talking about Vacheron Constantin. That's a different game. Or Patek Philippe or any of those guys. That's different. I'm talking about watches that we can basically afford as normal people. See, the thing with value, and people get caught up in this, and it troubles me. You can say something's worth something all day long, but value is actually what somebody will pay you for it, not what the marketing department had 3 energy drinks and came up with at 2 in the morning. I respect companies that are honest. If you tell me that that $140 watch is a great value, I might look at it and go, okay, let me compare it to the other $140 watches in its class and see if it's a great value, see if it fits and checks all the boxes that I'm looking for. But if you're asking me to compare that $140 watch with a $1,000 watch, well, all of a sudden it pales in comparison. If it's a fantastic $140 watch, be what you are. But don't tell me you're a $1,000 watch. Don't put that much lipstick on that pig, because that's what happened. That's like me ordering a cheeseburger and telling everybody, good news, I saved $300 on this filet. No, sir, you bought a cheeseburger. If your watch needs an 87% discount to become attractive, it wasn't worth $1,095. But you have a really good marketing department. Congratulations, Invicta. I'm Bud Ford. Thanks for your time at Bud Ford Comedy. I appreciate you liking, following, and subscribing, and I hope you have a great day.